Okay, so I figured I would do a full moon reading. So it's the last full moon of 2021. It's a full moon in Gemini. We've been through a whole lot of stuff. And as I was preparing for this, my ears started to go. I was choosing which card, which deck. So have just felt like, I was getting little shivers up my arm. Internet is unstable. Oh, yeah. Um, just so I figured this might actually end. I'm not going to do the individual signs for how the full moon is affecting you, because I feel like it is affecting us as a collective in a very similar way. And I'm going to pull out more cards. I'm actually going to pull them out like in a Celtic cross. And my Celtic cross is maybe a little different than most people's. So here we go. I'm just going to pull out if something jumps out or sticks out like that. And I'll give you, there we go. So far, this is very interesting. Give me a second. Oh boy, oh boy. It's actually making me feel a little queasy in my stomach. I'm telling you, you can't make this stuff up. There's just been this feeling, this culminating feeling that we've gone through as a collective on the planet so much pressure. Last night when I went to bed, I could actually feel my third eye almost tickling. So between both sort of stemming up from here into my third eye and out, it was like constant activity. And I'm feeling that again. And my ears keep, like I said, they keep sort of blocking and unblocking. And there's a lot of pressure the second this is coming out. Like 2 cards there. It's very interesting. Timing. There we go. Okay, so let's just dive in. The very first card I pulled out was, this has been coming up in a lot of the signs weekly readings that I did that are posted. This is the 7 of Fire, this is the 7 of Wands. This is your state of mind. You should be feeling this. You should be feeling this excitement right now, that this is you. You are this unicorn. There is all this magic around you. You are in this, you're dying to burst forward and not dim your light, not hide this. You're not a horse, you're a unicorn. This is your state of mind right now. And it might feel like butterflies in the stomach, or it might feel like restlessness, or it could feel like, aren't I supposed to be doing something? Did I forget something? What's going on? And sort of like throwing caution to the wind a little bit and being ready to defend yourself. If so and so says this to me, I know what I'm gonna say. And quite often when we're in that position, in that defensive position, and we're so prepared, the stuff never actually happens. It never actually shows up in that way. Everything just goes smoothly. Okay. So this is the current state of mind. And my ears are going crazy right now. This is wild. Okay. Now, in the present, this is just amazing because we've been having this, the collective divine feminine has been going through this transformation. And I'll show you the card that is crossing it. Transformation. Oh my goodness. This is all the most desirable aspects of the feminine energy. Now, this is not gender specific. This is everybody who may feel like they are in the energy of the divine feminine, who have been making that shift in how they see things, how they behave, how they spend their time, I guess where their focus is. And if you're thinking in terms of love, this is the counterpart to the divine masculine. The divine masculine has been running. If you're thinking about, the twin flame journey and the soulmate journey over this past year or two, well, yeah, pretty much 2 years, the divine feminine has been really getting it together. And the divine masculine has sort of, as a collective, not been getting it together as quickly. There's a small percentage, I would say, in the divine feminine, the percentage of people getting it together are in the high 80s, low 90s, and the ones not getting it together are that balance. And in the divine masculine, it's kind of the opposite. Okay, so it's just this, it hasn't aligned up until now. It's beginning to align. It's getting closer. It's getting much closer. So this divine feminine energy, if it's not about soulmates and twin flames, just think about how you spend your time. Are you in that active masculine energy of go, 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 produce, 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 ask, 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 demand, demand, want, want, and never be in that place of receiving? So this is the energy of the present moment. It is the divine feminine energy, the last moon of the year. You want to manifest stuff? Then you sit back and let it manifest. Your state of mind is this: knowing that you can, knowing that you deserve it, knowing your worth, not dumbing it down, not dimming your light, not doing that for no one. Present. Okay. And then crossing it, which this is the death card in other decks. It's transformation. It's death and transformation, death and rebirth. And it's this little child's mind. Okay. Making a wish, transforming something. This is the present energy. It's magical. It's really magical. If you choose to feel it, if you choose to embody it, it's there. Tonight is an amazing night to do a full moon ritual. The full moon will still be there tomorrow. And tomorrow is, I'm going to do a different reading, which is Venus retrograde in Capricorn, which is a whole other thing. That's going to be really focused on the twin flame soulmate journey kind of thing, relationships. But look at this. There's this trust here that what you have to let go of is okay, because something really cool is coming forward, something that you really want, something that you maybe don't even know that you want, but now that you know you deserve it, there it is. And it's a challenge. This is a challenge. This is a cross current to this card. It's crossing the divine feminine. This is being okay with letting certain things go, letting certain expectations go, even maybe letting your wants go, and let the universe provide you with what you need instead. Now, here is the card that's overarching this reading. This is the Three of Swords. This is one of the most interesting Three of Swords in all of the various decks because we've got the two little birds here, and they've got those little crowns on their head. So the duality of the dark and the light in here too. Okay, this light's coming in. Normally, it's depicted with, traditionally, it's a heart with swords in it. It's painful, it's sorrow, it's grief. So all that pain, all that sorrow, all that grief, everything that we are supposed to experience on this three-dimensional plane of existence. The human experience is all about suffering. It's about transcending suffering, transforming it, transcending it. This is the overarching energy of this whole reading. So we've got death, and we've got grief, and we've got sorrow. And it's certainly been a year of that, in probably anyone's memory. It's been very heavy in that way. Okay. And then the foundation of this reading, of this current energy, is the Page of Water, the Page of Cups. This is this childlike energy again, the lotuses. This is the heart. Cups, or in this case, it's called water in this deck. It's all about the heart. Learning to go, going back to when you were a child. Even if you had a rough childhood, even if you had a painful childhood, even if it was full of grief and sorrow and trauma. As a child, you didn't get to experience certain things in the same way you did as an adult. You were still in touch with certain abilities, certain awarenesses, certain lack of awareness of other things happening out there in the world. And that's what this card tells us. The foundation of this is turning back into that divine aspect of you as a child. If you could heal anything from your childhood, what would it be? All those things formulated who you are right now. And you've come through this cycle, this circle. And this is the last full moon, and we are in opposition to Saturn, the sun sign. So the sun and the moon, Gemini, Saturn, there's air and fire. What happens when you've got fire with a lot of oxygen? You get this huge combustion going on. And if fire is, if it's combustion, we also have illumination. And this card showed up in the weekly group reading. Actually, it was our card of the week, Thursday. And this is right now showing up as our immediate past. So leading up to this moment, we have what was the card of the week. And I love it in this deck because instead of a horse, it's a seahorse. The knights, this is the messenger of water. So it's the Knight of Cups. And it's always a horse, and it's frequently a white horse. And so because it's the messenger of water in this case, she's underwater. There's all this opulence going around here. And this very magical little creature is showing up with some information or an offer. And in this particular case, I think it's an opportunity. It's inviting you to hop onto this new ride that brings you into 2022. You ready to ditch all the old stuff? Like, are you really ready to ditch all the old stuff? Figure out what it is that you want, because now you're entering this manifesting period, especially for the next 2 weeks. The way everything is going, Venus going retrograde tomorrow in Capricorn, we start this cycle of manifesting big time. The brakes come off big time. Okay. This is amazing. So the immediate future, we've got that same little seahorse with this pearl, this amazing pearl. This is the Ace of Water, the Ace of Cups. this is an offer of luck. You have these two things sandwiching the present moment. This knight coming forward with an offer, an opportunity, and we've got the ace of water, the ace of cups, this magical offer of love. It doesn't have to be a romantic thing. It definitely could be because of all the other energies going on with the soulmate connections and twin flame stuff. But this is an offer and it's leading with the heart. You can say it's definitely leading with your heart chakra. Receiving, that's where you're receiving, where you're sending the message from, that's where you're receiving it. And you go from there when it comes to the things that will feed you and nurture you and make your soul come alive. That's what you want to manifest right now. I mean, this is awesome. Okay. And then our future environment. We have temptation, which is the devil. This is the devil in other cards, in other decks, sorry. And, this could be all these things. It's more about self-indulgence, okay, with this. So it's to not get carried away. Focus on what you need that would really make you happy instead of all the things that you want. What are like the top things that you need to feel contented? Need versus wants. And I would say that's really what this means in this particular case. Don't overindulge. Save that energy for when you need it. Don't get carried away. Whatever it is, whether it's food or relationships or sex or Netflix or drugs, whatever it is the thing that you feel self-indulgent about. Just kind of reel it in a little bit and allow the universe to give you what it is that you're really, really needing. You want to create a little bit of a vacuum out there, because if you're constantly feeding it, you won't be in that Empress energy, that divine feminine energy to receive. And I've been saying this now for the last couple of months. Passive yin feminine energy is about creativity and receptivity. So if you're constantly actively masculine energy of doing, and you're going, why is it not happening? Because you haven't stopped to actually receive and nurture and accept and know your worth, which is why we had that 7 of fire there, the 7 of wands, that unicorn. The unicorn knows its worth. It knows it's special. It's not dimming its light. It's not trying to blend in with the horses. It's a freaking unicorn. Okay. So next thing we have, in the influence of the people around you, we have the star. This was also our card of the previous week. It's Aquarian energy, obviously. Let's see that. And these are the people that you're interacting with. Probably the people closest to you. Friends, family, people you work with, the people in your immediate environment. If they have not been supportive in the past, they are actually supportive in the sense that I think people are beginning to connect with each other and saying, like, we all want this. We're all ready for this. We all, and if it happens to those people over there, and it's probably going to happen to me too, because everybody has been so stuck that as soon as you start seeing the good stuff happening, it's triggering kind of like a mass gratitude where everybody's jumping on board and saying, yeah, stuff is moving, stuff is happening, this is great. It's a sign. There's a light at the end of the tunnel. Something's moving. Okay, so it's different, I think, than the way things have been in the past in that case. If you felt that people were not supportive, or you felt that you're kind of in it on your own, that nobody really has your back. People might not have your back, but at least they're feeling happy for you at this point. They're sharing your optimism, or there's a collective optimism going on. Okay, now I'm getting this pressure here. So that seems to be accurate. Okay, so this gets interesting. You're gifted with an opportunity. You're gifted with an offer because you've been asking and you've been waiting and you've been patiently doing your work. If you're in that divine feminine energy, if you're in the divine masculine energy, for most people, you have been running and avoiding and not looking. Where those points converge, we have the Eight of Earth, or the Eight of Discs or Pentacles. All this is like, practicing. There's all the little things. Like, you're not going to get better at anything if you don't practice, if you don't put in whatever it is, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, do all the stuff, upgrade your skills, spend 5 minutes trying to meditate, even if your brain is running in 50 different directions. Make that little bit of effort to do all the little things. Make your bed every day, do the dishes, sweep the floor, make that phone call, talk to that person, see about that course that you were going to do your stretching exercises, whatever it is. Try cooking something instead of ordering takeout, all that kind of thing. It's this very practical application of all the little tiny things that make you successful. So even though the universe is bringing you all of this, it's offering you something, or it could be a person offering you something. You still have to, it's not the end of the line. You win the lottery, it's not the end of the line. You still have to do all the little things. And they're not big things, but they amount to something big. So don't talk yourself out of it and think that I have to do all this stuff in order to get there. No, you just have to take little steps every single day. And they're not insignificant because they create a ripple effect of positivity. They create a ripple effect of, hey, if I had 10 little things on my list and I did them all today, I had a successful day. How do you measure success? Okay. And then, so this is 2 cards came out for the outcome, and I'm going to read them like this. The outcome, more about the outcome, a timing card, and how long that outcome lasts, and what does that outcome sort of transform into. So the first one is a 3 of Fire, which is the 3 of Wands. It's very different energy in this card, and it's normally about planning, like you're ready to embark on something. But this is such a magical card. It's got my little stars there. It's like look at how we're matchy. This is where you get to see your magic in action. Again, there's this every part of this reading, there's this little bit of having faith that if you take one step in a certain direction, the universe is going to show up with something. And so this is no different. This is like that plan. Okay, I'm ready to embark on the, magical mystery tour, or whatever the heck this is. Ready to go, ready to set course for this. It's like, okay, done all the little things. I've done all the 8 of Discs. I'm in the process of doing them every single day, and I'm going to do them. And even if I only get to 5 out of those 8 things every day, at least I know I have 8 things that I have to do every day. It's all good. The universe is happy with the energy that you put forward. It's not if you complete them, it's the fact that you're interested in doing them and you feel that it's worthwhile. And you feel that you are worthwhile and that you're deserving and that you're committed to doing it. And it's okay if one day you do 0. It's perfectly fine. Sometimes you might need to do nothing. We get more about the outcome. We get the 9 of earth, the 9 of discs. There's this feeling of gratitude here. And it's simple. This is like all of your needs being met, usually financially. Usually there's a feeling of independence where you can look back at the end of it and saying, like, I did that on my own. Even if you had help, even if you had support, even if you had a mentor, even if whatever, you were looking for partnership and now you're single or alone. There's this feeling of accomplishment that whatever happens, that you're able to face it. You have the wherewithal, you have the backing of the universe. You've proven to yourself that you can actually do it, whatever it is. And you're thankful. The vibration of gratitude is a very high vibration. So when we do things and we constantly appreciate them, or appreciate the people, or we appreciate the hard lessons, or we appreciate the difficult people, or the recurring lessons, or those stubborn lessons, or the really difficult, challenging times, the more we see that with gratitude, the more abundance we actually create. It's magical that way. Okay, when we look at the timing card, in the position of timing, I have the 10 of fire, which is the 10 of wands. So wands would represent weeks. So a 10-week period of time kind of makes sense because Venus is going retrograde tomorrow, officially until January 29th. But really, and I've been saying, we're going to feel that energy up until early March. And then we have this corroborating that. And what we're transforming into, again, it's like, oh, all this pressure from out there, is the Knight of Wands. So that's the feisty knight. That's the one full of charisma and passion and cockiness and creativity and a little bit of a player energy, flirtation kind of vibe. It's sparky, it's witty, it's fun. Okay, so that's what we're moving into. And my computer wants me to quit Zoom, which I'm having technical difficulties here. So hopefully everything is still recording properly. I'm going to force quit something else. There we go. Sorry about that. Okay, I'm going to pull a couple of runes for this. My little bag. Here we go. Okay, we have need. What did I say before? It's not about what you want at this point, but the universe is going to give you what you need. Okay, protection. You are protected. And illumination. I've said all of these things in this reading. Okay. Now, I was shuffling earlier with the Spirit. Let's get it there. The Spirit Oracle deck. And the first card that flew out, I was kind of like, that's kind of odd. It's this one. It says positive outcome. And I kept it aside and I kept shuffling. And I said, no, I'm going to put it back in there again, just to see if it's really this card. Sure enough, it flew out, like really flung out the second time. So I'll read it to you. Okay. It says, there is hope. Don't give up now. Have faith. Trust. The forces of love are at work behind the scenes. What did I say? Expect a joyous and positive outcome. So there's lots of stuff here about light and illumination and not dimming your light and moving forward. So if you can do a full moon ritual, focus on the feelings of what it is that you want to manifest over the next 10 weeks going into 2022. There's another time that you can do this also, which is on the solstice. But now would be a good time to formulate at least what's going to happen in the next 10 weeks. Okay, so I am going to sign off, and very soon we will be getting to those days where it starts getting brighter. We're approaching the longest night, the darkest night, and it feels almost feels like we've been doing that since the beginning of 2020 somehow. All right. Okay. Well, I hope you enjoyed this. Please subscribe so you'll always see new videos. Like it. If you give it the little thumbs up, more people who are interested in the things that you're interested in will see it because of all the magical algorithms out there. And share it if you think other people would like this as well. Okay, thank you.